Hey everyone, welcome back. This is part two of our segment on I Got the Data. I'm your host. This is JC, and we're going to finish up where we left off, where on the previous episode, we downloaded our data file, set up our data frame, and created some of the prerequisites in order to get our information organized. Now, on this segment, we're going to take that information we got organized and create a bar chart showing and graphing the statistical information related to COVID-19 cases and deaths. I'm your host, JC. This is BWIT TV. Stay with me. We'll be back. You show your shit that you might not know. Welcome, my friend, to the BWIT show. All right. Hey. Thank you. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. I want to welcome y'all into the room. Come on in here. I appreciate all the applause. Thank you so much. Come on down. Y'all settle down. All right. So I'm your host, JC. This is B with TV. This is part two. Welcome back of our segment on I Got the Data. We're going to go ahead and pick up where we left off. So as you see here, we've got where we left off. We imported our modules that we're going to be using. Excuse me. We created a couple of variables, our URL link, location where our data file is. We've got our we've set up a variable to read our data set, and then we actually have a variable that actually creates our data frame and the columns that we want to read from our data frame. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and create. I'm going to create a function that we're going to use to. This is going to plot the data that we want and create a bar graph. Now this all, bear with me. This will all start coming together as we put this in place, and I'll start explaining how a lot of this is put together here. All right, so to create our function, say def, and we're going to call this top corona virus. Okay. And open we're going to put our parentheses, parentheses. And colon. We're going to enter, and let's go ahead and docstring this so we know what this function is for. This is going to be okay. We're going to say function to create bar graph of COVID cases. All right. We kind of know what the purpose of this is for. We'll put over here, enter. All right. So first thing, some of this I may come back and explain, but just kind of follow along with me and follow along with what I'm typing here. So we're going to do fig, comma, space, x1 equals plot dot subplot and our parentheses. All right. Okay. And just so I can tell you what this is, make sure I got everything I need. And let me go here just to put a comment. This creates variable x1 for grid subplot. So that's what that's going to be for. All right, so we move on down. Here is we're getting into the nitty gritty part of it here. The most, I guess, some of the important pieces here. So next we want to on our next line, I'm going to go ahead and type in df because we're going to use our frame here, our data frame, df dot, and we're going to say group by. Okay, and that gives it parentheses. We're going to put this in quotes, single or double. It really doesn't matter. So I'm going to do single quotes, and we're going to put in this column here. Because what I want to do is we're going to plot this bar by the country territories, okay? By the country's territories. So if you remember on the previous video, I pulled up the spreadsheet at CVS and showed you the columns, the column titles. So, and the column with the countries and territories, there were several duplicates. I'll say duplicates just because they were showed several different cases of a certain death or cases in that country. So it had several lines of the same country. So this group by will help us. We're going to group that column. Everything in that column will get grouped. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Country by our countries and territories. And then we're going to go over and we're going to put square brackets, another single quote, and we want to group the countries and territories with the other column series that we want to graph. So in our case, we want to say cases. Okay. So, all right, so now, and then after that, we get out and then we want to say dot sum dot sum. So that's going to take that group and it's going to add all the values up that are being grouped together. So we've got that sum, and our quote, not our quotes, our parentheses. So dot sum parentheses dot sort underscore values, and we got another parentheses dot tail and parentheses and top underscore number, and I'll explain this in a second. We move out of our parentheses, we're going to say dot plot, and we hit parentheses again, and now we're going to call that x equals x1. We're going to comma, okay, comma, and we want to this is where you get in actually creating your the type of bar chart. So you can go regular bar, which is vertical, or you can go bar H, which is our horizontal bar. I'm going to go with the horizontal bar. So we're going to say bar kind. We're going to say kind equals, and we put this in single quotes, and that's bar H. Okay, and we were almost running out of space here, so I'm gonna comma, hit enter, and I'm gonna bring this back some, and we're gonna put a title on our bar chart. So title title equals, put your single quotes, and I'm gonna say top, and I need curly brackets, and I put a 0 in my curly brackets. Okay, space, and countries, with confirmed COVID-19 cases. Okay, we're going to go over out of our single quote. Our single quote, and we're going to say dot format. Okay, and then inside of that format parentheses, you're going to say top underscore number. Okay, and then go ahead and move all the way over out of both of our double parentheses at the end. Hit enter, and that's our bar line that's going to create our bar based on our group from our data frame. Okay, all right, so next we're going to move on down here. So our next line we're going to go is, we're going to add our X label, so we'll know what our information is on our graph. So we're going to type in PLT for plot dot X label, and you're going to say parentheses, single quote, and we're going to put in number of confirmed cases. Okay, all right, we got that there. Hit enter. Okay, now our next line here I'm going to put in is, we're going to type in ax1 dot set underscore, let's see, underscore axis below parentheses true. All right, like I said, we'll come back, I'll explain what we've typed in on our function here. Okay, so we're back here, we're at our next line. We're going to type in axis, or ax1, I'm sorry, ax1 dot grid, and open close parentheses. Go down to our next line, and we're going to say PLT, we're going to plot dot show, and what this will do is create our grid, our plot. Okay, so let's go back up here. I can explain what I did here. So our first line here, we got figure ax equals plot dot subplots. So what this is going to create a variable for a subplot on the existing plot. So a subplot, just think of like a layer under another layer. Okay, so then we go down to our second line here, and what we've done here is df is our frame. So what this does, basically this entire line creates bar graph from grouped data frame information. Okay, so let me tell you, we'll go down here and I'll kind of explain what some of this does here. So see, DF, our data frame, we're grouping by, first by this column here, grouped with this other column. It sums up the values of these columns. Then we sort the values. So this sorts the value in a, I believe by default it sorts it in descending order. So your values, and dot tail sorts the values towards the tail end of our data frame. And top number, I'll explain what that is here in a second here. And then after that, dot plot creates our actual plot, and within we've got our arguments of x equals x1, which is our or we're saying axis equals x1, and that is our subplot. And we're plotting a horizontal bar with our title. And in here we are doing a string substitution for the top number, which I'll show you here. And then our next line here, plt.x label, is where we apply the label for the x coordinate axis, and our x.set sets the actual axis for our subplot to be below the below our actual graph, our bar plot, our bar graph. Then here it x1, this actually creates let's say create subplot grid. Okay, this here places grid below bar graph. Okay. All right, let me put a label. Let me put a comment here. Okay, creates label for x axis. Okay, we got that. Create subplot, and then we get down here to our final line, which is the plot.show. Okay, and this creates we'll say generate, or yeah, we'll say creates bar graph using data frame info. All right, so we're good to go there. All right, so you want to know, okay, so the purpose of what we did the top number for, this is something little handy I kind of thought would be pretty useful. That's the reason why our string here, our bar string is pretty long here. So follow along with me. We're going to create a variable called top number. So we're going to say top underscore number. We're going to say equal, and we're going to take some input, parentheses, single quotes, actually, let's go back because this is going to be a number. So I do want to make sure this is an integer. So we'll put in our integer there, input, and then what number of countries, COU, I can type, countries do you want to check? All right, so we got that there. Okay, and then we got one more parentheses to fill that off. We'll bring that down. Okay, we got a variable there, and then what we basically want to do is you want to call that function. So to call the function, you simply type the name, start typing the name of the function. You can see here, it's called top coronavirus. We'll say there, okay. All right, so everything looks good so far. And now is for our test, okay? We're gonna go ahead and see how we made out. I'm gonna right click or just click somewhere here within my window or however, whatever method you have of running your Python scripts, okay? So we're gonna say run Panda Lab. Click on that. And it's still, I've got the print data frame still up, so it's going to print out that full data frame as you saw there. But after that, you see down here, it says that input prompt that I created says what number of countries do you want to check? Okay, I'm going to check. Let's check the top 10 countries. Okay. Now this is what this does is it's going to, you can put in whatever number you want. So you can say the top 5 countries, the top 10 countries, top 15, top 50. So let's say the top 10 countries. Hit enter, and bam, as you can see there, and it doesn't show that. So let me, I want to show you, it just popped up here. Let me get that up for you guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. Okay. This is graph. Gotta add my window here. Y'all bear with me. Get it up for you here. All right, so here we go. All right, so I'm gonna switch over. Bear with me, I apologize. This is probably taking a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but I want to show you guys this because all right. Okay, and let's go ahead and fade on over. All right, so here we go. So we got what we ended up here with. We got a horizontal bar chart that, oh, I mean, just expand that too much here. So we've got a horizontal bar chart, and as you can see here, if I can get over as far as I can, maybe without getting too much. So we've got United States up at the top. Here's our title. So here's our title. It says top 10 countries, and that's 10 is what we've typed in on our input prompt. So we got top 10 countries with confirmed COVID cases. See, U.S. look like it's leading the pack here, and looks like my, hold on, let me do something. It look like my coloring is off here. Hold on, bear with me. Oh, blue. Oh, there we go. All right. So, yeah, so you can see our top 10. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cases, case wise. And you can see here, and what that subplot did, that grid subplot, is it applied these subplot lines here. So it kind of gives you a better view estimation of where the numbers kind of line up at. So here we got down here number of confirmed cases. You can see this goes from 200,000 all the way up to 1 million. And it looks like U.S. Confirmed cases are at over 1 million. The next runner up, we've got Spain, Italy, United Kingdom, so forth. So, and let me demonstrate one other quick one here too. I want to show you guys, so bear with me. Graph, let's say here, loading, and here. Okay, what happened to my... Oh, I think uh-oh. Yeah, I did. Hold on. Graphing. Oh, there we go. All right, so there we go. We're back. We're back. All right, there we go. All right, so let me go back. I just want to do another quick demonstration, show you guys this. We'll run it again. We'll type in, we'll select a few different numbers. What we did 10 first here. How about we jump it up? Let's say the top 50 countries in the world, COVID cases. Let's check it out. All right, so we'll go here. We're going to rerun our script. Bam. How many countries do you want to check? We said top 50. Hit enter. All right, check that out. Check that out. So it's a little congested because you get a lot of crammed information. So you see, it breaks those down. So it does kind of if you got a pretty large monitor, this will expand out. But my screen's not too large, so I tend to keep the numbers down a little bit where I'm able to read through, because I've got 50 countries on here. Looks like the United States is still at the top for COVID cases. All right, so close that out. Let's go back one quick. This will be our third demonstration. We'll do one more here. We'll say top 15 countries in the world. I mean, COVID cases. Bam. Okay, as you can see here, there you go. You have U.S. at the top. All right. So there you have it. We downloaded some COVID-19 data, CSV format. We created a data frame using Python and some data science modules such as pandas, and utilizing the matplot library to create our bar charts. Okay, and so as you can see, it's fairly simple. You can see that you can actually go in here, maybe change up the data, change up the grouping information that you're looking for. Do that. See what download different types of data sets. See what type of graphs and charts and things that you can create to analyze and look at data. I hope you guys like this. This is kind of my first time diving in doing some type of coding or data science type of video. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll post a link to my GitHub site where you can find this code here and start kind of manipulating it yourself. See what type of graphs, like I said, see what type of graphs and charts and things that you guys can create on your own, and see what type of projects that you can come up with. I'm JC. I'm your host. This is BWIT TV. Peace, and I'm out. Holla, holla.